Hello, true believers. This is Doc Hogg, and welcome to episode 19 of Comics and Variety. Today is a very, 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 very good day because obviously Avengers Endgame is now in theaters. I will have my ticket to see it tomorrow morning, and I will have my review out up on this channel sometime this weekend, probably Sunday, but maybe Saturday if I have some luck and a little bit more spare time than seems to be on the calendar right now. Anyway, as always, if you like this channel, please do subscribe, hit the notification bell to receive updates, and hit the like button. And as always, you can contact me at my email at dhog70@gmail.com and on Twitter at doc_hog. Alright, today I want to talk about Thanos' motivation for gathering the Infinity Stones and then eliminating half of life in the universe.
I was a child when you took me.
I saved you.
No. No. We were happy on my home planet.
Going to bed hungry, scrounging for scraps. Your planet was on the brink of collapse. I'm the one who stopped that. Do you know what's happened since then? The children born have known nothing but full bellies and clear skies. It's a paradise.
Because you murdered half the planet.
A small price to pay for salvation.
You're insane.
Little one, it's a simple calculus. This universe is finite, its resources finite. If life is left unchecked, life will cease to exist. It needs correction.
You don't know that!
I'm the only one who knows that. At least I'm the only one with the will to act on it.
Now, that motivation is different than the one in the comics, and some people really like it.
Gauntlet. The story is similar. Thanos wants to destroy half the population, but his motives are a little bit different. He is actually doing it to win the affections of Death, who he's in love with. Personally, I think his motive is actually better in the movie than it is in the comics. But we don't need to get into that right now.
Well, I'm not one of them. Indeed, put me firmly in the camp that says the motivation in the comic book is better. And there are three reasons why I think this. First, the movie's version of the motivation leaves big plot holes. Second, it's political. And third, it's just wrong, factually wrong. I'm going to look at the first reason today, and I'm going to explore the other two in my next two videos. Thanos' motivation leaves a number of plot holes. And for the most part, they're pretty big plot holes. The first one relates to the source of Thanos' motivation.
Where do you think he brought you?
Let me guess. Your home?
It was. And it was beautiful. Titan was like most planets. Too many mouths, not enough to go around. And when we faced extinction, I offered a solution.
Genocide.
But random, dispassionate, fair to rich and poor alike. They called me a madman. And what I predicted came to pass.
Now, are we really supposed to believe that a society this technologically advanced couldn't come up with enough food to survive? If you can create those massive floating starfish, you'd think that the problem with food on that planet would be obesity, not starvation. So right away there's an improbability here that's very improbable. All right, so that's hole number one. Here's the next one, and this one is a very serious plot hole. If Thanos is genuinely concerned about overpopulation, about running out of resources, then why not use the stones to either increase resources in the universe or give all beings the ability to create new resources? Or why not both? If the Infinity Stones are powerful enough to eliminate half of life, surely they are powerful enough to improve it. And, if Thanos were to do that, he'd be a hero to everyone. But by doing it the way he did, everyone who knows him will now hate him. You might say that, doing something good with the stones goes against Thanos' evil nature, but does it? In the comic book, it would. I mean, he's a nihilist in the comic book, and he's a nihilist in the extreme. He thinks life has absolutely no meaning. But the movie shows that he has a compassionate side. He can feel great loss. So doing something that avoids loss would not be going against his character, at least in the movie. And thus, Thanos' motivation in the movie leaves a wide open question of why not use the stones to increase resources or increase the ability of beings to create resources. Finally, his motivation in the movie leads to this.
You should have gone for the head.
The question here is, how many times is Thanos going to perform the snap? In other words, you reduce the life by half, but is that life going to stop breeding, stop expanding? Presumably no. And before too long, you are right back to the same amount of life in the universe that preceded the snap. And that will happen every time you reduce life. So, the big purple guy, his thumb and middle finger are going to get quite a workout. Now, in the Infinity Gauntlet comic book, Thanos' motivation on the surface looks similar to the movie. Here we have the first look into Thanos' motivation in the prequel to Infinity Gauntlet called Thanos Quest. The goddess of death, also called Mistress Death, thinks that there is an imbalance between the number of beings in the universe and the number of souls in the afterlife. And she has tasked Thanos with killing off half of the population of the universe to redress that imbalance. And here is where it really looks similar to the movie. In these panels, he's telling the Silver Surfer about Mistress Death's motivation, about the depletion of resources, environmental concerns, overpopulation, and so on. And it looks almost the same as the movie, but it's not. In the comic book, and as I mentioned earlier, Thanos is far more of a nihilist than he is in the movie. All right, and so it's no surprise that he is enthralled with the embodiment of death. He loves Mistress Death, and he wants her to love him back, and that's ultimately his motivation in the comic book. And the only way to win her love is to do what she wants, to eliminate half of life in the universe. In the comic book, Thanos couldn't care less about whether people deplete their resources and starve. And that is a much better motivation because it doesn't really leave any plot holes. There is no other way for Thanos to achieve the goal of pleasing Mistress Death. Now you might say, well, if Mistress Death is so concerned about this imbalance between people and resources, why not instruct Thanos to increase the amount of resources? Isn't that a plot hole in the comic book? Well, no, it's not, because Mistress Death isn't about preserving life. She's about, death. The way she wants to solve problems is through killing people. She wants more souls in the afterlife, and death is the only way she can go about it. So if you're genuinely concerned about overpopulation and you are the embodiment of death, then it makes sense to fix it by killing off half the population in the universe. So, in the comic, Thanos has no other option of achieving his goal. He does in the movie, and that's one reason why I don't like his motivation as much in the movie. It leads to too many inconsistencies. Alrighty, that's all for now. I'll get to reasons 2 and 3 in upcoming videos, and now let's move on. Okay, that music means that it is time for Hogg's Headlines, all the news that Doc Hogg wants to report on. Dateline, you have a very hard commute to work.
Starting at Houghton Avenue and going all the way to State Avenue, drivers are down to the single lane in each direction.
Okay, that's all for now. I will be continuing with this series next week. I'll be giving you my review of Endgame over the weekend. I'll be seeing the movie on Friday. And until then, have a very nice day.